Hi, I'm Leon Pantenberg with SurvivalCommonSense.com. When you invest money in survival equipment, you need to have the good stuff. You need to have something you can rely on. But most of you will go to sporting goods stores and you're going to see displays for the Bear Grylls stuff or possibly the Les Stroud survival knives and all that. How good are these? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to take a look at the Les Stroud Arctic Survival Knife. Les Stroud is Survivorman. He's one of the original survival show stars. He goes into the wilderness alone, apparently without a support team, for a week at a time. Now, the Les Stroud signature series are made by Camillus and are advertised to be incomparably tough and built to withstand the impossible task of your next challenge. The blade length is 4.5 inches long, and it's made out of some pretty good steel, titanium bonded 440 stainless steel. The overall length here is 9¼ inches, and it's not particularly heavy. Apparently it's mandatory to have a survival guide with all of these, so here's the survival guide on the Arctic knife. This D-ring I added later. I use these to clip on with carabiners and such. My first impression of the knife is that it's a sturdy, well-designed piece of equipment. I've used it for a couple weeks around the house doing various things. I started in the kitchen using it for food preparation, then later on I used it out in the field as kind of an all-around knife. A particularly challenging set of knife tasks just happened because I was doing my spring yard work. So this knife was on my belt and it got used for cutting drip irrigation lines, trimming and pruning, and some digging associated with lawn irrigation. The edge dulled, as I would expect, but it only took a few swipes with a butcher steel to restore the edge. So here's the good stuff about the knife. The guide is great. It's full of good advice and it doesn't have a lot of esoteric misinformation that most people couldn't use anyway. The drop point, in my opinion, is one of the most useful blade designs. If you notice right here, you've got a pretty nice bell there, kind of a nice curve. This is used for skinning. Now, I didn't have a chance to skin anything, but I have used this cold steel Master Hunter a good bit skinning. You can see that there's very similar blade designs there. And also here is a skinning specialty knife. This is a C.T. Fisher Nessmonk, and you can see the angle is about the same. There's no question in my mind that this Arctic would work fine for hunting. The full tang blade ends up with this pommel that you could actually pound nails with. I pounded a few just to say I had. I don't typically rely on a knife as a hammer. I'll pick up a rock or a stick or something to whack away on. There's a hole for a lanyard, and I really like lanyards on knives, particularly if you want to secure them to something or to make sure that you don't drop them in the snow or the water. Unlike the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife, which has these holes here, there's no way to make a spear out of this knife. I think that's a very intelligent move. Here are some aspects I don't like as much. I like the ferrocerium rod, but I don't like where it's placed. It's right in the way. It would be better right there or right there. As it stands right now, it's kind of hard to pull out, but I'm assuming that's because it's new. If you've noticed, I've done a little scraping there just to get rid of the coating. There is a notch on the knife right here that's designed to let you use it that way to scrape and get a spark. It works okay. So my final reaction is, somewhat to my surprise, I like this knife. There's nothing superfluous about it except for a few minor cosmetic tweaks. There's not a lot I could do to make it better. So while I like this knife, would I carry it as my go-to field knife? No. I like this cold steel Master Hunter, or I would use the cold steel SRK. But I'll tell you this, if I couldn't take either of these knives, and this knife ended up in my pack as a replacement, I wouldn't feel too concerned. And that is high praise for me, for any knife. This is SurvivalCommonSense.com. Thank you for watching. Invest in your gear wisely and practice. Have a great day.